Hi everyone, Harry here to talk about the latest thrust and parry of the administration and Harvard University, whom Donald Trump seems to be dead set in favor of simply crippling in any way he can. So, most recently, the administration has basically entered an order saying people who have visas to come study at Harvard nullify them. They can't do it because of the supposed national security issues having to do with Harvard's conduct in the previous year. There's been a series of shifting rationale, but the main thing proffered repeatedly is that Harvard wasn't forceful enough in pushing back against anti-Semitic activity on campus. All right, this is the third in just the last few days. So first, there's been a huge amount of money taken from Harvard. We're talking like $2.4 billion. The judge puts that on hold in a temporary way, and that'll be worked out. And then the administration hits on the idea of going after the foreign students, but what they first do is just simply invalidate, say that Harvard, unlike any school in the country, may not participate in this sort of, can't get the bureaucratic check mark from the State Department that enables it to participate in the programs that let foreign students get visas and come to universities in the United States. That is a sort of bureaucratic requirement that really has, that nobody has ever tried to challenge in any kind of individual prominent university. Arbitrarily, the administration says Harvard and Harvard alone, you're not eligible for that. The judge immediately puts that on hold, and that was just a couple days ago. And so our latest back and forth in the last 24 hours is Trump tries to do it in another way, simply by ordering the State Department to cancel the visas of everybody who have procured them in order to come be a student or a graduate student slash teacher at Harvard. And within hours, Harvard, which is, knows this drill by now, has lawyers standing by and knows tries to anticipate what's coming, though there seems no lack of ingenuity to just try to hammer them in any way possible. Harvard immediately files papers and asks for a temporary restraining order, and the judge, and this was pretty significant, grants the temporary restraining order without even hearing from the administration. Says, I don't need to hear from the administration. We're talking irreparable injury. We have all these people who have visas, who are planning, trying to come, and this new order would simply put their lives in total chaos. They might have to cancel everything, and it seems unlawful. Temporary restraining order, boom. So for the third time now, a really big effort from the administration to cripple Harvard has been put on hold. But let's step back now and kind of review the bidding. I'm actually at Harvard now for an alumni thing and a reunion thing, and the Harvard Yard, was packed with people who are, the place has never been so popular. The president spoke. The president is just this sort of excellent but sort of bureaucratic guy who now has been thrust into sort of existential combat with the president of the United States, who has a lot of power, but basically no knowledge and no sense of decency. But anyway, they went through what's going on here, and you had this raucous student body, all up in arms happily that Harvard is fighting back. But make no mistake, and nobody there does, Harvard's getting clobbered, and that's the best case scenario. Everything the administration has done in gross, the taking away of billions of dollars, the two specific attack on foreign students, are lawless, and almost certainly the district court will strike them down. There's now she's entered temporary restraining orders and will have in very short order moved to a trial to actually decide on the merits. Should this temporary relief be extended to permanent relief, and a finding that the administration can't do it? Those all should go Harvard's way. And I think when the administration appeals and claims emergency, that too should go Harvard's way in the First Circuit. Then, of course, things come to the U.S. Supreme Court, and, after months of Harvard's prevailing, what could happen there is at least less certain. But I think most people agree that it's lawless action by the administration in the main. But we're talking about in the main being billions of dollars, but otherwise there being ways in which the administration can really, I was going to say make Harvard suffer to the tune of hundreds of millions of dollars. It's really clear that the ultimate suffering is by people in the world, that all these programs that are now being taken away from Harvard for really bogus bullshit reasons, but nevertheless are subject to a kind of discretion in the executive that you just can't overcome. What they translate into is actual, loss of research, loss of discovery, loss of breakthroughs in all kinds of ways that have for years benefited people on the ground. That was part of the kinds of presentations that you're hearing, and it's sort of heartrending that thousands of people, I think, have died already, genuinely, because of the withdrawal funding, and more are to come. So when a president of the United States sets his sight on a university, any university, he can make trouble, and no doubt that Harvard will be worse off for having been forced into these battles. No doubt also, I think, and clearly this was the sense of everybody in Harvard yards screaming and jumping to their feet. No doubt they're also better off for challenging forcefully, firmly, quickly. The law is very much on their side in general. But what that leaves in the periphery are body blows to Harvard, and like so much else that the administration is doing, it will be a matter of years or decades or never before some of that harm can actually be reversed. Talk to you later. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video and other Talking Feds content, please take a second to like and subscribe. Talk to you later.